Hey everybody. I had just made a post on Facebook about just because you don't have a relationship with your children's father, that don't give you a right to look at another mom like she's stupid because she runs everything by her kid's father. And what inspired that post, I was just thinking back when I was on active duty in the Navy and I was overseas in the Middle East. And my daughter was back home with my husband. At the time, we wasn't married, but she was back home with him. And I remember this young lady asking me. At the time, I was about almost 30. Asia was she was a baby. She wasn't even a year yet. But anyway, so she asked me. She's like, "Well, who has your daughter?" And I was like, I said my daughter's father, my boyfriend or whatever, probably my fiance or whatever the hell I called him. And she was like, "Ew, your baby father got your daughter." I'm looking at this bitch like, what? Bitch, something wrong. I'm not the anomaly. You fucked up that you had a baby with somebody you couldn't leave your daughter with. And it's just and it's not dogging anybody's situation. It's not judging anybody. But for you to look at me like I'm short because my daughter's with her father, the person who helped me make her, the person she's half of, what's wrong with this damn picture? For you to kind of look at me judgeful like what's wrong with you? Why your daughter's not with her mother? Well, I ain't got that type of mother. My mother ain't that damn, hell, I might get a week out of her before she ready to bounce. She ready to go back home, so it is what it is. But make a long story short, anyway, we grown and my daughter's with her father. So why are you coming at me like something's wrong with me? See, sometimes we perpetuated this dysfunction so long, we begin to think it's okay. And it's not okay. It's not okay. And for us to come at other people like something wrong with them because they doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm grown. At the time, I was about 30 years old. My daughter's with her father because that's what grown people do. I ain't got time to be going back and forth with my mother. I'm not saying it's something wrong with people because, everybody got certain situations. I know a lot of people that was dual military and their kids had to go to the fathers or, because the mothers and the father was deployed or deployable or whatever the case may be. But she ain't got no right to judge my shit because she ain't in a situation like that. You know how many women I ran into that had kids every duty station and sent them kids home to their damn mothers? That shit was crazy to me. That's crazy. To me, it don't make sense to me. But for somebody to kind of look at you doing things how it's supposed to be done, like something's wrong with you because you're doing it how it's supposed to be done, and because they're not, they're trying to normalize the dysfunction. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to normalize the dysfunction and looking at me like I'm crazy because my kid is with her father. Hello? It makes sense to me. But what I'm saying is, everybody got different situations. So just like the people who don't have relationships or their children don't have relationships with their fathers or the mothers and the fathers don't talk or whatever the case it might be. You have no right to judge people who do have functional relationships with the father or mother of their children, whether they're together or they're not together. We got to get to the point where just because it's normal or it used to be seen as normal, because a lot of things change. I got some cousins, they single fathers, they doing their thing. So everything is not what, quote unquote, it used to be. But you don't need to dog somebody because they're not with the mother or the grandmother. Come on. We do better, we know better, we do better. Maybe she didn't know any better, or maybe that was her situation. But don't look at my situation like it's short because my daughter's with her father. That's the whole purpose. You get with a dude that you can do those things with, whether you work or not. Crucify me because I'm in a situation where her father got her. Isn't that how it's supposed to be? Some of you ladies, you got to stop dogging women and trying to frown upon relationships that you ain't got. Instead of asking yourself, well, damn, I wish I might have it like that. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you just know if you met somebody and you see, even if you didn't believe these things was true, even if you thought maybe you haven't seen it, maybe all the women in your family, the fathers wasn't around or the grandmothers always watch the kids, or if the mothers go away to work, whatever it might be. But if you met somebody that's the same demographic as you, just about, and you seen it's been done, so maybe you can look at it and say, oh, it can be done, instead of dogging somebody out. So that's all I want to say. Let's stop judging people's situations. All right, bye.